Welcome back, everybody. Fair and Balanced. We are back with Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff on the Benghazi tragedy and his thoughts about General David Petraeus' testimony on Capitol Hill this week. Welcome. Great to have you here. Let's begin with Ambassador Rice. Why do you think it's unfair about the criticism that's been levied against her by several Republicans on the Hill?
Well, it's clear, and General Petraeus was quite adamant about this. The CIA and the intelligence community gave us their best assessment at the time. In fact, we got those talking points the afternoon before Susan Rice went on television. They were flawed, they were inaccurate, but they were the best the intelligence community had, and we didn't know they were flawed. And so to criticize Ambassador Rice for taking from the intelligence community their best work product and relating to the public, I think that's grossly unfair. If she had departed from that, if she had speculated on her own, if she had said things different than what the intelligence community said was their best estimate, then I think she'd be subject of legitimate criticism. But how can you fault her or anyone else, frankly, for relying on what the intelligence community said was the best estimate?
Set aside what she said for the moment. What do you say to those who say, well, you know, the White House continued to use the video as an explanation for what happened in Benghazi, as opposed to the fact that we knew from testimony from others that it was terrorism from the start and that it was known within 24 hours of that attack?
Well, it was terrorism from the start. I think we all recognized, once you know that there are RPGs and mortars being fired at an American facility, that is terrorism. The question was more, was this pre-planned? What terrorists were involved in it? Was this initially a protest that turned into an opportunity for terrorists to attack the consulate? And those questions weren't solved right away. And in fact, looking at the raw intelligence, there were many conflicting reports, some that said there were protests, some that said there weren't. There were groups claiming responsibility, others denying responsibility, and it took time for the intelligence community to get it right. And I think they can be justly criticized for not having it right earlier. But I don't think there's any evidence, unless you're ready to conclude that General Petraeus is not telling the truth, and Deanna Clapper is not telling the truth, and Morell is not telling the truth. All the intelligence community have told us that initially they recognized there were extremists and terrorists involved, but they thought it came from a protest, that it took them time to sort that out, that there was no political spin in this, that there was no interference from the White House in this. So unless you're willing to think they're all lying, they're all part of some grand conspiracy, there simply isn't any there. Now we have a very good commission that Thomas Pickering is heading up that will determine what was the security there. What do we need to do to protect our people? What took place and how long did it take us to gain the good intelligence, and why did it take so long? Those are good and legitimate questions, but to jump on the UN ambassador for relying on what the intelligence community said was their best work product, that just isn't right, and it's not productive.
What are your thoughts about having a select committee to investigate this further? Do you support that initiative?
I don't, for a couple of reasons. The primary reason is we already have a good commission, the Pickering Commission, that's looking into exactly this. And they're much more likely to get a good, unbiased work product that the Congress can then implement its recommendations than anything that comes out of a highly polarized, politicized Congress right now. When you have members of the Senate saying they're going to fight the UN ambassador's confirmation over this, when you have others saying that they're convinced that the White House changed the talking points, when there's no evidence of that, it's pretty clear that the players who would be part of this select committee have already made up their minds. And that you're going to have divisions between the two parties, and you're going to have a majority report come out of that select committee and a minority report, and that's going to be anything but constructive. The Pickering Commission, and if you look at the Crow Commission and the Inman Commissions in the past, they have produced good work products. Those have been commissions outside the Congress, not part of the political process, and we're much likely to get a better work product from them than anything we set up in-house.
Congressman, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.